Okie dokie. So we've got our color palette, it's ready to roll, but what good is a palette without a canvas? Let's give our colors some context and see how they hold up. All right, we've got our artwork here, we've got our color palette up here, and most importantly, we have our swatches saved over here. I think I like to start just by laying flat color over everything and not really worrying too much about what color goes where, but just kind of getting things placed. But before we do that, let's set our file up so it'll be easy to work with. So I'm gonna start by grabbing our sketch here, and I'm gonna rename this layer sketch, and maybe drop its opacity to like 20%. That's good, I can still see it, okay. And then I'm gonna lock this layer. Now I'm gonna make a new layer on top, and I'm gonna call it artwork. And this will be the layer that we work on here, okay? And the reason I put this on top and over the sketch might be a little confusing because, you know, if we were to make some artwork, we're like, oh, here, I want to color in this part. Oh, I can't see the sketch. What happened to it? You know, that sucks. So normally you would kind of select whatever thing, go over here to the appearance or transparency, set it to multiply so you can see through. But that's kind of annoying if you have to do that for every single shape that you make. So that's not gonna work. Good news is there is a better way. So if you have all these things on a layer, what you can do is target this whole layer and tell it to multiply. So we're gonna go up here to the layers palette. I'm gonna select artwork. And if you click this little circle over here, that is the target. And I'm gonna target the layer itself. So now it's kind of everything. And if you go over here in the transparency tab, you can see it's like the entire layer is selected. And then you hit multiply. Now it's treating that whole layer as one thing that's being multiplied over the layers underneath it. So no matter what new thing you add to it, it will overlay and you'll still be able to see the underlying sketch, which makes life very easy. And the reason I do that instead of putting the sketch on top is because you can then use the eyedropper to sample a color without worrying about, you know, getting this kind of overlapping color that's being multiplied. So if the sketch were on top and I sampled this area, I would get this like darker red where the sketch line and the kind of shape color overlap. And this prevents that. So yay. All right. Let's get this stuff gone. Okay, one last thing. So as we lay shapes out here and kind of just get our flat colors going, we want to use everything from our swatches here. And I will show you why that's really important later. But we don't have a ton of swatches and they're all very tiny. I wish I could see them bigger. Turns out there is a way to do that. So actually, you know what, the better way to do this is to first filter it. So we have our swatch group here, then we have these other things. I don't need these other things. So I'm gonna go down here to this little show swatch kinds menu. It's like a little like grid looking guy. And I'm gonna go down to show color groups. And boom, there we go. So it filters out everything else, just our color group. I'm gonna change this to list view. That's a little easier. But if we go up here to the hamburger menu, I'm gonna go to large list view. That is even better. Some of you might like the small ones. That's cool too. Use whatever works for you. I just find with this many swatches, it's a little easier to not accidentally click something I did not want to.